Here on the Wealthy Ironworker podcast today, we are taking a look at offshore wind. Now, if you want a job and you want to maintain some form of check this out, once in a lifetime jobs, what I'm doing matters, etc., offshore wind is something to consider. Now, at Portsmouth Marine Terminal over here in Virginia, we are staging what is called the monopiles. These are all the piles that are going to go offshore. This is nowhere near the total amount that you're going to get, but you can clearly see, at least to some degree anyway, the size of these things. They are large, and these are the offshore ones. So what they do, the offshore wind turbines make the smaller ones on land look very small. You got a lot more opportunity to catch some wind, as it were. This is an enormous amount of monopiles, and these things are pretty large. So let's see if I can kind of give you the scope of how big it is. This is me standing in here. This flange is roughly about 3 inches thick. You can see how large it is. Now, as interesting and as large as these monopiles are, they are nothing in comparison to the crane that's actually going to be used to set them. And I'm going to take you over to where they're at. And no, it is not that DMAG crane right there, as large as that crane is. In actuality, the crane that is going to be used to set them is this. Now, I've been an iron worker for 22, almost 23 years now. I have worked around my fair share of cranes in general. Allow me to tell you that this is the largest crane that I have ever seen. And I have worked in other places where we've got massive overhead gantry cranes that can pick up 1,000 metric tons. But there is something unique about this particular crane. First off, it is something that you cannot miss in the skyline. If you look over there, you will see the ship-to-shore cranes. The ships come in, they take all the Connex boxes off, they set them off to the side. This crane here makes those look small. And from a perspective, let me see if I can't zoom in for you. Do you see this green box right there? Excuse me, right there. That is a Connex box. These are commonly on 18-wheelers. They are what you will see, so they're 8 foot tall, and that's to give you a perspective of just how large this crane is. This is not a small crane. I've been around cranes a long time. That's a massive crane. This apparatus here, it's cylindrical in nature, and it's got some drums, so the assumption, of course, is that will hold the monopiles in a sideways direction when this thing picks it up and sets them offshore. Make no mistake about it. This is a large crane. If you are looking for a career, if you are looking to, let's say, I want what I do for a living to matter, I want to do something big, I want to do something memorable, I want to increase my job satisfaction rate, those of us in the trades have a relatively high, in the 80 to 90 percentile job satisfaction rate, and have had a job satisfaction rate that high for a long time. There are numerous reasons for this. But working on once-in-a-lifetime projects, and in this case, the potential to work around a crane like this, and to even see it, this takes the cake. I'll take you back. These are, again, the monopoles that are going to be used for offshore wind. This is not the motor. These are not the blades. These are just the center. You can see some more back there. And then if we scan over here, you can see the framework for some more over there in another field. These things you cannot miss if you are looking for them and you know what to do. It's not every day someone gets to say they worked on offshore wind. Worked around it, worked for it. No matter your feelings, when you get to work around large industrial potential projects like this, you get to go home and say at the end of the day, yeah, I built that. That is one of the biggest cranes I have ever seen. This is the Wealthy Ironworker Podcast. Thanks for checking it out. Oh, by the way, be sure to share and subscribe.